Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Friday, October 4th, 2019. It's 12:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is my coping with schizophrenia vlog entry for today. Today, I wanted to talk about coping with isolation during the fall or autumn and winter months. Um, Here in Rochester, we're not quite at winter just yet, but it's getting cold out. Today's, I would say, is about, I don't know, 35, 40 degrees outside. It's not snowing. We usually don't get snow until October, but it is definitely getting colder. The days are definitely getting shorter. And cold winter or even cold autumn mixed with shorter days can lead to depression and being isolated and being lethargic and tired, because these are all things that I'm going through right now. Um, as it gets colder out, as it starts to get darker earlier, and the sun comes up later than, say, summer and spring, there is a tendency for me and other people to get depressed and isolated during the winter months. You don't even have to have a psychotic disorder to have the winter and autumn months to be a problem. A problem because the lack of sunlight is related to mood disorders. I'm not a doctor and I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm simply pointing out what psychiatric books would say. A lot of people get seasonal affective disorder, which is basically depression during the winter and fall months. Some people surprisingly have seasonal affective disorder during spring and summer, but I believe it's more common in the fall and winter months. I mean, last night the sun went down around 6 p.m., if I remember correctly. And shorter days for me means I have a tendency to stay in bed longer, go to bed earlier, and that throws off my whole mood and energy and sleeping rhythms the same way jet lag might throw a person off in their ability to sleep or have their circadian rhythms be normal. Circadian rhythms are just something within the human body that adjusts you to be able to sleep regularly and get a good night's sleep and wake up when you're supposed to wake up. Um, those things are thrown off by anybody who flies an airplane over long distances in different time zones, knows that jet lag can make you tired, depressed, exhausted, isolated. Um, and for me, the fall and winter months or the autumn months do the exact same thing. They throw off my ability to sleep. I end up getting insomnia. Um, I try to avoid sleeping during the day because that would just make my night sleeping even worse and less likely, and I would have a better case of insomnia. So, how to cope with all this? Well, today I went for a walk for about 2 miles. It's cold out, it's cloudy, it's not raining, and it's not snowing. Yesterday it was raining, and it was a very cold rain. I don't mind rain if it's like 70 degrees outside, but when it's like 40 degrees outside and raining, it's very cold and uncomfortable rain. But anyways, I went for a walk today just to get out of the house. I was by myself while I did it, um, but I had to do something to prevent anxiety attacks and depression, and so I went for a walk. However unpleasant it is to go for a walk in this weather, I still did it because it helps my overall mental health. Um, so as the winter months and the autumn months come, you've got to find ways to get out of the house. I mean, unless it's like a really bad blizzard and you just can't reasonably go outside, which does happen in Rochester and probably happens even more in some other places like the mountains or Canada or whatever. Um, but having said that, you should try to get out of the house as much as possible. If all you can do is force yourself to go for a walk, then go for a walk. Um, Go to a public library and read in a nice, quiet, warm place. Most public libraries are open during most of the week, sometimes on Saturday and Sunday. I know I'll be using the library a lot just to get out of the house and just to be able to walk around and do things. Um, but you have to find things that work for you to help keep you busy during the winter months and when possible to get out of the house or out of the apartment that you're living in and just be around other people. Um, I can't tell you how to do those things because you're unique individuals and each person has to find for themselves the answers about how to get out of the house during the fall and winter months, the autumn and winter months. Um, Exercise and going for walks is a big part of that. I plan to buy a treadmill for walking on and exercise for those days during the winter where I'm just not going to go outside and it's like a really bad blizzard. Um, but it's important also to be in touch with people, even if it's only by telephone or text messaging. Let people know how you're doing. If you're not doing all right, let them know that you're not doing all right. Um, and talk to your friends and just try to stay busy. The winter months and the autumn months are hard to think clearly sometimes as well. If you have problems sleeping like I do, then you wake up not feeling at all refreshed or relaxed because you didn't have restorative sleep like I didn't. So I wake up this morning depressed, tired. I was up most of the night anyway, so when I say I got up early this morning, I mean like really early. I was up and have been up since 3:30 this morning, and now it's 12:38 p.m. just afternoon. Um, the winter and fall months are hard to cope with and deal with, but you've got to find ways to get out of the house, exercise, indoors or outdoors, and find some way to be around people. Now, a lot of people have jobs, so they get out of the house anyways, and that's good. If you can work, by all means, do so. The work that I do is on my computer at home, so my work doesn't really do much to help me get out of the house, but it does keep my mind busy, which is also important. So I'm coping the best way I know how, and each individual, whether they're psychotic or not, has to find their own ways of getting out of the house, getting proper exercise, proper diet, proper sleep, proper things just for the hell of it. I mean, you have to have something in your life that you find fun to do, and that's important as well. Um, Me, I'm not a very fun person, and I still got to find those things that are fun for me. Um, that's something I have to work on. I think we all have things to work on. Um, but I guess that's all for now. I'm just sort of rambling here, and I have no real advice other than what I've already said. But hang in there. The autumn and the winter months don't last forever.